Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to the Minute Channel. And today I have an interesting video that I think some of you will find pretty helpful or just interesting overall. And being somebody that is bilingual, I think that's where we should start. I always play the SMT games and the Persona games in English, so figured that this was a good chance to check out the translation, because this Persona game is the first officially Atlas translated game in several languages. We have Spanish and German and French and Italian and obviously English and everything. So this is kind of like the first chance that we get to see that overall. So I think you guys know this, but I speak Spanish, and so I checked that out, and I also asked other people that I know on other groups and everything what their impressions were on the translations, and I got really mixed response. I didn't actually expect to hear so many mixed response in different aspects, and I was really shocked to hear about that. So I want to talk about that, kind of like what is the translations like. Are they still having issues with that? Now, first of all, let's start with English, because English is obviously the one that most of you guys, I'm speaking English right now obviously, so most of you at least understand some kind of English and everything. So regarding that, the English translations haven't always been really good. They've been okay, you know, they make the work done. There's a bunch of stuff that is usually not okay, but overall, like, they're okay, you know. There's a whole thing about English translation in Persona 5 particularly. If you want to check that out, there's like, you can easily Google it, and there's like a whole website full of grammatical errors and that kind of stuff. So, you know, English, you know, like the stuff and everything. So Spanish is a really big chunk of the world also speaks Spanish as well, and I think to a lot of people that speak Spanish, that was a disappointment that they used Spain Spanish, not neutral Spanish like Latin American Spanish or anything like that. But not only did it went that far, but they also went the extra mile and make it kind of like specific area for some sayings and some particular words and everything. That makes it really hard to understand what's going on. It really takes you out of the experience when you have to look it up online. Well, what does this word mean? Because, you know, even if you speak Spanish or if you speak any languages, there's gonna be county specific or city specific sayings, a slang kind of thing. Every area is gonna have their own little things that they say differently. So it's sad to hear that in Spanish at least they focused on a specific area in Spain with specific kind of wording and everything. And even though there's a lot of Spanish speakers that do play Persona, I think a good chunk of them are not from Spain. They're from Latin America, you know, whether it is South America or Mexico or Central America. So I think it's very interesting that they went for Europe, Spain. I think that was their original target audience, but let me tell you, there's a big chunk of Latin Americans that played SMT games and Persona games that were not happy with the translation, or at least they didn't feel satisfied with it. I can see that. Moving to other languages, I think Italian, from what I heard from Italian friends, the translation is actually okay. Like, it's not super good, but it's not bad. Like, it's understandable. Everything's perfect for them. Everything looks fine, and I think that's cool. French, I think I heard that there are some grammatical errors or some things that done again, like very specific sayings for specific parts of French. And obviously, you know, there's other countries that speak French. You know, you have Haiti, you have part of Canada that speak French and everything. So it's kind of sad again to see that they didn't go for a more neutral French. Instead, they went for a specific country French. So again, that makes it a little bit hard to understand some of the stuff. I can see that as well. I didn't hear other from all languages, but I did hear a lot from German. So I have a friend who is from Germany. Actually, recently made friends with her over this particular issue, actually. And she sent me a bunch of screenshots as well. And all of them are whether are grammatical errors, or as she did was really nice and put an explanation of what the error is and everything like that. Whether it's translation errors, whether it's things like some things that are completely mistranslated, or some things that are misspelled. And I see that quite often, actually. You know, a lot of the screenshots that she sent me here, they are things that just don't make sense. Another one of the things that they were doing is how there's some things, there's a question that is in German, and the question wasn't translated. You know, it's like it was like Wunderkind or something like that, which is German for like prodigy, I think. And the question was not translated, so it was like a question on German about German, and that's just dumb, and things like that. So I think it's interesting. A lot of the stuff, again, she put a lot of different stuff, with not just translation, but the way some words were used for specific situations that weren't correct and everything. It's something that overall just is weird, right? So overall, and she was really well detailed as far as like all the different situations and everything. I think that's pretty good that she did it for me. Thank you so much for doing that for me. I really do appreciate that. And that just shows that Atlas is kind of in a weird spot right now with translations. On one end, I do want to commend them because they put the effort into making this thing. I think that it is good to see them kind of translate the game in different languages and everything. Is something that we never had seen before in all these different languages. They had done it in English, but they haven't done it in so many different languages out there. So it's good. It's a good attempt. To me, I feel like it's a good attempt to kind of reach out a bigger audience. I just think they need to put more effort and maybe more work into it, more money. Now, that being said, this is gonna be a true test of time for everything else, right? Because this is the first time that they did that. I want to see them not only get better at it, but also invest some money into it, because other countries do deserve their own things. I think every country, it's gonna be difficult and hard to see everything translated on every country and everything. But I think it's a good direction here. I think that I would like to see more improvements and everything. But from what I see in Spanish and from what I've seen so far, they need some work in a lot of areas. Like I said, from everything that I heard from different languages, I think they still need some work. English is still a little shaky here and there. There's a lot of grammatical errors and translation errors and that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much in this video here. I just want to talk about this real quick. I think that this is an interesting subject to talk about, especially for things that for other people that watch the channel that are not native English speakers like myself, that we notice this stuff, and we notice it not because we want to, but because we're needing it. Anyway, that is pretty much it for today, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing, and let me know what you think about all this. If you are somebody that is just English speaker, what does that make for you in that end? Do you want some better translations in English, or you don't really care? Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.